There's something standing in this hallway staring at the Healer family. And that's not even the strangest thing hidden in the Bluey cartoon. Because if you pause the show at exactly the right moment, you can find someone being mean in the background of a scene, a dog hidden somewhere no one would ever think to look, and even characters who appear for just a single second. And the craziest part is that the Bluey team actually hides some of these things on purpose, officially too, not in fan-made images. Today, you're going to have to keep your eyes on the corners of the screen, because these clues are so well hidden that it's easy to miss them completely. Are you ready? Because another amazing Cinewave is starting now. Long Dog. Pause this scene right here. See that long little dog hidden in the background? This is the Long Dog. And no, it didn't end up there by accident. The Bluey team started hiding this little dog throughout the episodes as an inside joke during the production of the show, but the joke eventually escaped the studio and became one of the secrets fans hunt for the most. And yes, there's a long dog in every episode. And once you know that, watching Bluey is never the same again. Because look at this first one. Pause right here in the background. Found it? Now look at this other one. It's the same little dog, except the production team usually changes its color and position. Sometimes they even camouflage the Easter egg into the background. And this is the most important detail in our investigation. The production team really does put secrets in the background, hoping you won't notice them. So those eyes in the hallway that we saw at the beginning of the video just got a little more suspicious, didn't they? But hold on, because before we go back to them, I noticed something else. The Long Dog isn't the only object that keeps showing up hidden throughout the episodes. There's also a little ball that keeps appearing wherever nobody is looking. Ball. And it's not just any ball, it's a tennis ball. Pause here and look in the background. It's right there. This one appeared in the episode Whale Watching. Now switch episodes. Look at what happens when we watch the season 3 episode, Surprise. There are 3 tennis balls in this scene. One inside a cup near Bandit's hand, another lying on the floor near the door, and another hidden in the background next to the red armchair. And there's more. Sometimes they don't even appear on the floor, but inside pictures hanging on the walls. Pause on the staircase scene in the episode Hotel. So first, we discovered a little dog that appears hidden over and over again. Now a tennis ball keeps showing up throughout the episodes too. At this point, I've stopped believing that anything in the background of Bluey is there for no reason. And remember those eyes in the hallway? Yeah, now they're getting a little harder to ignore. But keep that image in mind because there's still one more clue before we go back to it. For now, I even started looking at the pictures hanging on the walls. And that's when I found a familiar face inside a house where he shouldn't be. Bob Bilby. And look who's hiding in a picture in the episode Tina. It's Bob Bilby. Yes, the same little puppet Bingo takes home and tries to do a bunch of fun things with. Except after that episode, he didn't disappear. This is proof that the series is always evolving, because even though every episode is its own story, the healers' lives keep moving forward, which means it makes perfect sense for there to be a picture of Bob Bilby there. And I really like this detail because nobody draws attention to it. There's no character pointing at the picture, there's no dialogue explaining anything. If you don't stop and investigate, you'll end up missing it completely. Want to see another interesting detail? In this same scene, over in the corner of the wall, what's hiding behind that purple ball? A long dog. See? There are tons of secrets, but right now we're talking about Bob. It's almost like the adventure with him really became a family memory. But then I started thinking, if the pictures can preserve little stories that the episode never talks about, then maybe the characters are also doing things when the camera isn't paying attention to them. And that's exactly what I found. Because while one episode was focused on something else, a very familiar teacher was simply walking down the street in the background of the scene. Teacher. You'll have to go to the episode Daddy Drop Off to see the scene we want to show you. Now pause the shot with the car on the street. Look way back there on the sidewalk. She's reading a magazine. Recognize her? It's Bingo's teacher, Mrs. Retriever. She's simply sitting there reading a magazine as if she has her own routine even when she isn't part of the story. And do you know what the most interesting thing about this scene is? It's a mistake. In that episode, Bandit was taking Bingo to school, meaning she was supposed to have class with Mrs. Retriever. So that means the teacher should have been at school waiting for the students, right? And she was. Skip ahead just a little bit more in the episode and you'll see her. Look, there she is. The animators made a mistake in this scene. And it's incredibly easy to miss because nobody talks to the character. Nobody points at her. She's just there in the background. That's it. If you go back to the scene where she's on the street reading the magazine, you can also see Mackenzie and his dad on the sidewalk. But this changes the game. Because now we're not just looking for hidden objects anymore. The characters themselves might be living out little stories in the corners of the screen. And there's one character who takes this even further. You've probably already seen her and didn't even realize you were looking at the twin sister of one of Bingo's friends. Zara. In the episode Fairies, we see a little dog who never has any lines in the series. Pause when Bandit is dancing and look closely at these two in the corner. They're practically identical. And no, it's not an animation mistake. Bentley, who is this white and brown little dog, has a twin sister named Zara. The interesting thing is that Zara appears so rarely that a lot of people can watch the episodes thinking she's just some random character. But she isn't. She's one of Bingo's classmates. But when the two of them appear together, there's no denying it. There are two identical little dogs in the same scene. The only difference is their fur color, since Zara is black and white. So the next time Bentley appears, pay attention and see if her sister is nearby. And before you ask, yes, the only reason we know this little dog's name is because the information is on the official Bluey website. And if Bluey can even hide the family of one of Bingo's friends, I started paying attention to every figure that appeared for just a few seconds. That's how I found a weird little bird, until I realized that it had actually taken part in one of Bingo's games. Would you like to be the main character's brother or sister? Comment the hashtag Bluey so we can get to know you. Feather. Go to the episode Feather Wand and pause when the roof of the healer house appears. Then pause the scene. This is the same bird that drops the feather Bingo finds and uses to play her game where she changes how heavy things are. The first time you watched this episode, you probably only noticed the feather falling. But in this scene, we can see that the feather only fell because there was a bird on the roof. The bird that starts the whole game appears for just a moment. It's a small detail, but it shows how Bluey likes putting the answer right there on the screen for us to find. And after that, I started investigating the episodes even more closely. And it looks like there's a hidden mark on a tree that tells a story about Chili, name. Go to the episode Granddad, pause when a special tree appears in the swamp, and look closely at the trunk. There's a mark with Chili's name right there. That tree isn't there just to make the place look nice. It holds a memory from Chili's childhood. It's the kind of detail Bluey could easily ignore, because nobody is going to pause an episode just to examine the trunk of a tree. Well, almost nobody. We here on the channel will, and so will you. But the creators put that detail there because they know we'll be able to spot it. And the more we pause, the more it seems like the backgrounds are filled with memories. And there's one I definitely wasn't expecting to find. Because among the drawings hanging inside the healer house, there's one that references someone we haven't seen in a long time, Jean-Luc. Let's jump over to the episode Bingo this time. Pause the scene where Bingo is sad and hiding in the closet. That drawing on the wall next to her looks like just another scribble, but take a closer look. It's Jean-Luc next to Bluey! Or at least, it really looks like him. The detail is interesting because it suggests that Bluey kept remembering her friend even after that brief encounter. And if even an old friendship can be hidden on the wall, then maybe there are things from other universes hidden there too. Don't believe me? Peppa and Potter. In the episode called Alongside, there's a scene in Honey's bedroom that shows two pretty suspicious references. One picture hanging on the wall looks like Peppa Pig, and another one next to the window shows a reference to Harry Potter. The details are so small that they just look like simple decorations if you're only paying attention to the characters. But it's important to remember that Honey is a British character, and her bedroom has references to the culture of that country, which means Peppa and Harry Potter were almost definitely inspirations for this scene. And speaking of pictures and culture, there's another one hidden inside Bluey's house. Band. Now pause on this picture. Recognize these dogs? They're a canine version of the Wiggles, a famous Australian children's band that's also hugely popular online. And speaking of famous people who go unnoticed, there's another one you probably never imagined would appear in Bluey. Subscribing to the channel is just as good as watching your favorite animations. Shall we click? Natalie Portman. We can't show you the next secret, but it's true. All you have to do is go to the episode Whale Watching, and you'll hear that the voice of the person speaking on the TV is actress Natalie Portman from the Thor movies. Yes, she made a special guest appearance in the series by lending her voice. And now look at the next detail, because it's hidden among Bluey's own belongings. Fish. If you go back to the episode that shows the Harry Potter references, you'll notice that one detail went completely unnoticed. Bluey has a fish. Seriously, look at it right here. Pretty cool, right? The Bluey minisodes also have a bunch of details, including some pretty personal information like what we're about to show you. Age. If you watch the minisode Brownie Bear, you'll notice that one detail reveals Bandit's identity and the day he was born. October 25th, 1978, which means Mr. Healer would be 47 years old when this video was uploaded to YouTube. But Bandit also has another secret that appears in the episode Granny Mobile, Chattermax. When we look at the corner of the screen at the end of the episode, we can see that annoying owl toy Bluey has, Chattermax, hidden right there. But the interesting part is that those are the things the neighbor is selling. Does that mean Dad Healer put Chattermax there to be sold without Bluey knowing? The mystery remains. But forget the toys for a second, because we still have to solve the strangest thing we found. Remember those eyes in the hallway? I promised we'd come back to them. Fairy. They belong to the Tooth Fairy who appeared in the show. Bingo saw her, all of us saw her, everyone except Bandit. And now remember the image that started this whole investigation? Those eyes glowing in the hallway. Does that prove it's the Tooth Fairy? No. But after discovering that the team really does hide dogs, objects, characters, and even creatures in the corners of the screen, who would doubt it? I'm not going to pretend those eyes aren't there. Maybe Bluey's biggest secret is still waiting for an answer, and to find out, you'll have to keep coming back here with us, just like you did today. If you liked this video, there are 2 more ready on the screen. Just click and keep watching with us. Thanks, and see you soon.